guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. Today we're back with another CAS video, and we are continuing to make the Wolf Among Us characters. So this is part 2. Right now we are trying to make the Crooked Man from the Wolf Among Us in The Sims 4. Some of these characters were a bit difficult just because I am limited with what I have from CAS, and I didn't necessarily want to get any custom content because I feel like that kind of takes the challenge out of things when you just add a lot of custom content. So I tried to make the characters features with what I was given. I think there's only one part where we do use a little bit of custom content, but I don't use it for what it's intended to do, and it's a very small detail, but I couldn't see any other way of doing it. But that's gonna come a little bit later. For the Crooked Man, because he is the main villain, we decided to make him materialistic, an insider, and evil, and he's also going to be the public enemy. Next up, we are going to do the Tweedle brothers. So first up, I believe we're doing D and then we're doing Dumb. They are both pretty much the same. We're both going to make them materialistic and mean and master of mischief, but I basically create the one and then I clone him, and then I just do the outfits according to how they actually dress. So they do dress differently. I didn't really notice that. I always thought they looked exactly the same. I could never tell the difference between them other than through the dialogue, but apparently they are different. I kind of do the two in one go. Luckily, the Tweedle brothers was a lot quicker for me to do because I didn't have to do the facial features twice. Like I said, I just kind of copied and pasted and it worked pretty well for me. Next up, we are going to be creating Bloody Mary. A lot of the Sims that we're working on today are part of the Crooked Man's crew, I've noticed. In the next video, which hopefully will come out tomorrow if everything goes well, we will be doing the other characters, and that will be the last video. So that's going to be more characters from like the Pudding and Pie and stuff like that. But for now, we're just kind of doing these characters. We're working on Bloody Mary. She has a very long face, I would say, and one of the big things about Bloody Mary is that she has red streaks in her hair. So you're going to see it a little bit what we decide to do. I found a hairstyle that I believe matched her pretty well, but I couldn't find any that had the particular red streaks I was going for. So I know there's a part of custom content if you add it to a character and it's not for the right mesh, then it kind of creates like streaks with that color. So I decided to do that, so it doesn't fit, but then it gives her the red streaks in the hair, and I just decided to go with that because that was the best I could kind of do with what I had. I also gave her her tattoo that is on her arm, and we go ahead and we make her athletic, evil, and self-assured because she is heck confident. Let me tell you what, and she's also a public enemy. Next up, we are going to be doing Jersey Devil. So he is kind of the shopkeeper at the pawn shop, if I remember correctly. He was a jerk. He was one big jerk, which is why we are going to make him materialistic and mean, and his main goal is going to be all about money. He turns into a creature, fights with Big B. Obviously that's normally what happens, but yeah, he was an interesting character. Other than the big fight scene in his shop, I don't think Jersey got a lot of attention in the series. I was kind of surprised when I saw him with the Crooked Man, even though it was kind of implied that he worked with him and everything. I think a lot of the other characters that were with the Crooked Man you knew a little bit better, you had more experiences with. So I didn't know Jersey that well compared to some of the other characters that felt a bit more fleshed out to me. Next up, we are moving on to Auntie Greenleaf. There was no way I was going to make this video without making Auntie Greenleaf. She is such an interesting character. A part of you kind of is against her once you find out she's making illegal glamours and she's kind of providing that on the black market, but her personality is actually very kind and caring. I think she's the only character from my Let's Play that actually wanted to save the Crooked Man, where everyone else just kind of wanted him to be like gone from existence, which I completely understand. Either way, we decided to make Auntie Greenleaf, and it was difficult trying to figure out her personality. I do not think The Sims 4 has enough traits at all to kind of like give character to your Sims, so I just ended up making her lover of the outdoors because of the whole story with her magical tree. I don't think it's mentioned in the video games, but there's actually a very interesting story when it comes to Auntie Greenleaf, and there's actually a whole conspiracy that kind of includes her, which is really cool. I'm saving that for a future video that I'm planning on making on The Wolf Among Us, but I just thought it was very interesting, and it actually includes the next sim that we are going to be creating, which is going to be Rachel. So when you first go to the apartment, you meet Rachel Greenleaf, and I believe she refers to Auntie Greenleaf as her mom. Meanwhile, it's actually Auntie Greenleaf, like kind of glamoured to be the little girl. So we don't actually know the little girl, and that's kind of the tricky part for me, especially when it came to her personality. It's just because the girl we were introduced to was Auntie Greenleaf, so she didn't have like her own personality. At the end of the day, I just decided to make her a perfectionist because in my mind she still is Auntie Greenleaf, so she's still making the glamour. So that was the only kind of connection I could make, but it was very difficult to try and make Rachel. But I think she's a pretty cute kid. I think she turned out pretty well, pretty accurate to the actual character, but like I said, the personality was just very difficult to figure out. Lastly, we are going to be working on Tiny Tim, and we don't really know him that well. We're introduced to him very briefly. Although he does work for the Crooked Man, I think that he has good roots, if that kind of makes sense. He's actually really sweet. He's another character that I really liked, and it sounds like he has a warped view when it comes to the Crooked Man, because it sounds like, you know, the Crooked Man kind of gave him a chance, gave him a job, and so that's kind of why he's grateful to him. But he's just like a good guy working for a bad guy, and he doesn't make the connection. That's the way I see it. I don't have any reason to assume that he was bad in spirit. He was kind to Big B when he was walking with us, so I decided to make him good, cheerful, and want to help people and make good connections. Right, so that's me creating 8 more characters from The Wolf Among Us in The Sims 4. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so that you're notified every time I post a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching. There will be one final video of me creating Wolf Among Us characters in The Sims 4 coming out, so stay tuned for that. In that video, we're going to be working on a lot of girls from like the Put in a Pie and stuff like that, which is a lot of fun for me. So yeah, it's going to be a very fun video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!